The KSM Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, every month we talk to the member of the month of the Stanford Sea Transformation Network. And today we are talking to the member of the month. Show some love, man. And even though he's a member of the month for STN, this man, what shall I say, is an architectural guru. Today we are all going to school. A friend of Architecture 101. Momo Muzemano. Architecture 101. No, we're going to invite him. We're going to sit down with him. We're going to talk, and he's going to educate us on what architecture is all about. We really don't understand, and they are called the inside. This man has over 20 years experience in architecture, and he's an award-winning architect. He has designed some amazing things that we'll be talking about. Put your hands together. Show some love. So Cecil Anertey Abbey. Yes, so. Thank you, sir. Please. Well, Cecil is in the house. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Architecture 101. Today, stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show. The KSM Show.
We're back. And today, I have Cecil in the house, and we're going to be shooting the breeze, but we're going to be talking about things that you need to hear about architecture, plus other things. Cecil, welcome to the show.
Thank you, KSM.
Good to have you here.
Yes, it's great to be here.
Wow. And by the way, congratulations for being the STN Member of the Month.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with the STN Members of the Month. All of you are dynamic. All of you are spot on. All of you have substance, man. So I'm expecting a lot.
Yeah. I'll try my best. It's an honor. It's an honor to be the Member of the Month, and STN is a wonderful group.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll be getting into STN later as we talk.
All right.
But first of all, congratulations. And your company is Inceptor.
Yes, Incept.
How long has it been in existence? You're the executive.
Yes, I founded Incept almost about 20 years ago. Yes, started out in a garage. I was inspired by the greats of, like the likes of Bill Gates and Jobs, who started in garages. So I also started in the garage.
So you started in the garage?
Yes, the family garage. Yeah, and we're here now.
Not to cut you off, folks, it's interesting that he started in the garage, because I want you to just take a quick look at his corporate headquarters now. Take a look at this. But that's amazing, man. I mean, this is the kind of story that I love talking about, that I like to celebrate.
Yeah.
You started in the garage, and look at where you are now.
Yeah.
And it's been 20 years.
Yeah, it has. It has 20 long years. And you never plan to do 20 years. It just evolves. I just finished school, and Ghana was going through a wonderful change from one political party to another.
What year?
2000.
2000?
Yes.
Okay.
And everybody is excited about Ghana.
Yes.
So people were coming back from all over the world and building, and it was a great time. But at the same time, it was challenging, because entrepreneurship was frowned upon. It was still new. It's not like today that everybody is saying I'm an entrepreneur, and it's a nice word and the like. Those days when people ask, what's your company name? I say, Incept. They say, what? I couldn't even pronounce it. So yeah, it's great to see the young ones I work with now saying, I work with Incept.
Yeah, boldly.
Yeah, boldly, yes.
KSM, my family are solid rock in my life. And behind any success, I may also have my siblings, Eugenia and Ben. Incept fanatics who I work with, and at any point in time, also a team of talented and passionate individuals who believe in our vision.
That's amazing. There's so much to talk about, but I want to start from one of the latest things. Well, I don't know how late, but Incept was behind the building of is it the Toyota corporate headquarters, or their new building on the motorway?
Yes. We were the project architects alongside working with ADK Consortium, a team of consultants, electrical, mechanical, structural, were chosen by the company. I think there was a short list, and ADK won that. So we were the architects within the consortium. So together with Batiste and the Toyota, we were able to come up with that. So it was a wonderful project, lots of teamwork, lots of collaboration. So it's something that, we're very proud of. And, it's a testament to Ghanaian excellence because all the consultants were from Ghana.
Okay.
They had the option to fly in anybody from anywhere, from, any part of the world, but they decided to leverage on Ghanaian consultants. So that was very good. ADK have done major projects like Parliament House and others. Yeah, so it was a proud job that we did.
So how long did it take you to do that contract?
Design was about 4 years. Implementation was about 18 to 20 something months. Working with a company, there are lots of reviews. You have to stick to the brand philosophy, and there are a lot of guidelines that you have to follow. And yes, so you had to go through that process before you could build. So the planning time is always a lot more than the implementation time. Yes. So that's how long it took.
I was asking that, because that's something you did for a corporate body.
Yes.
But where I'm leading to is that I know you do for individuals as well.
Yes.
And you have a concept.
Yes.
That you design. What's the?
Our mantra is life by design.
Life by design.
Life by design. Yes.
Life by design.
Life by design.
Which in a sense, if somebody approaches you right now, that Cecil, I want you to build me a house. You don't go up and say, okay, I'll build you a great house, but you want to know about them.
Yes. Yes.
What's their favorite food?
Yes.
And things like that.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. It's necessary. Immediately, if you tell me your favorite food, I'll know whether it's cornflakes or it's egg mommy, and whether it smells, and whether you want to near your dining, what kind of kitchen you need to prepare that kind of food. It goes on and on and on. It's all about encapsulating the building and the design around you and your lifestyle, enhancing your lifestyle, and not me trying to use my talents or my abilities at your expense. At the end of the day, you may get something nice, but it's not something that works for you. You understand? So there's a process where we have to go through a lot of reviews and empathy and trying to understand who you are.
Wow.
To build around you.
Wow.
You get, so that's what we try to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the cliche interpretation of what an architect is, Sidai Mami.
Yes. Yes.
Or some people come with their designs.
Yes.
I was in the US, I saw this.
Exactly.
Man. I wonder exactly, You seem to frown on that, or not frown, but it's not your way.
Yes. You can give us concepts. I mean, you like this particular style. But KSM, the most important thing about design is the interior and how it works for you. The exterior, I mean, think about it. You go into your house, you just enter it. It takes you 5 minutes to enter your house, but you live within the house. So you can imagine if you have this beautiful edifice, but when you go inside, it just doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your children. I mean, I've had stories from all sorts of people, ladies who got into bad marriages because they wanted to leave the house. Anybody who came in trousers, they married because they just wanted to leave the house. They didn't like the house. Wow. I've had health, stories about health. People living in houses that they always had chest pains or they couldn't breathe well. Maybe the ventilation was bad. I've had whole families who wear glasses because the light in the house was bad.
Really?
Yes. There's all sorts of research that goes into the issues that a house or a home can give you. And that's also a point. Some people build houses and some people build homes.
Okay.
Yes.
So some build houses.
Yes.
Some build homes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The house is just a structure.
Yes, it's just a structure.
But the home is where you live functionally.
Yes. And it fosters a family growth and enhances people's movement together, understanding, appreciation. I mean, I can destroy your family build up. You would ask me how.
How?
I mean, I can put you so far removed from your children, they won't see you. And daddy will seem like he lives in a different part of the house.
Yeah.
Or you create things like, simple things like a family area where they all watch TV or they all sit together or, that kind of thing. There are little things to foster family formation in homes. You know, and a good architect will be able to look at your lifestyle and enhance these things. You know, you look at even our villages. Why is it that some people are so integrated with their cousins and their nephews and their aunts and their uncles and the like? They grew up in a courtyard house. You know, they all come together, eat in a courtyard. So they seem to be more family oriented than other people who maybe didn't grow up in such a setting.
Yeah.
So at that point, the architecture had a strong influence on how they even relate
Yeah.
to other people.
I'm glad you have mentioned that, because it's leading me directly into my next question, you know, how you're talking about like that setup where it enhances even our cultural and traditional family setup.
Yeah.
These days, we seem to be, are we still loyal to our identity in terms of architecture? Would you think we are still loyal, or we are straying now because everybody wants something glassy, big?
I think now, interestingly, there's more appreciation for culture, for Ghanaian elements, for Ghanaian names, for Ghanaian fabrics, for Ghanaian so many things. People are trying to relate. You go to houses, they have stone pitching. You know, from the normal, you have nice stone pitching here. They have elements that they want to make you appreciate that this is a nice house, but it's in Ghana. You understand? They have paintings by all sorts of artwork. They have Adinkra symbolism that is, you know, used as concepts. So, and then even furniture. So interestingly, you're realizing that people are embracing it more. Now we are appreciating more who we are, and it's seen in architecture as well. You know, so I think yes, there's been a sankofa, as you may like to call it, where we're saying that wow, we have some good stuff here, and let's patronize it. Yes.
So are you experiencing that, like in your day to day now, more people who are like more prone to more Ghanaian kind of identity related designs?
Yes, they want to identify. They want to also be unique. I mean, you think about it. In the past, and in very recent years, the past 5 years or so, this amazing film, Black Panther. It was. I mean, the lady virtually had to come to Africa to design the
costume.
Yes, costumes and
Wardrobe,
you know,
wardrobe.
yes, Wakanda and all that. You know, so now you're getting those out there being amazed about everything African, and then we are showing it, you know. So it's changed, and I think with technology and talking and a lot more inspiration from, you know, other quarters, people are trying to identify more. So it's great to see. So I see that coming in a big way. Yes, in a very big way. Yes.
What about the history of the architectural design as we move along? Because I know back in the day when we were growing up, you know, those colonial houses on stilts.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And
yes.
well, back in the day, they didn't use any much air conditioning or anything.
Yes.
But the windows is like it was built for ventilation.
Yes.
But
that's
the
true.
modern architecture, everybody wants the glass. We don't even use the louvers anymore. Are these things, do they count?
Yeah, the colonial buildings tell us a lot. One thing they tell us is how, and when you say colonial buildings, of course, we have to talk about colonial masters. Why did they have them on stilts? They were afraid of snakes. Why did the boys' quarters, why was it so far away? They even had the impression that the mosquito, if it bites the boy over there, by the time it gets to the main building, it's dead. It's dead. You know, they have all sorts of stories. But one major thing is, there were not, Accra was clean. Ghana was clean. There weren't a lot of stagnant water bodies and the like to form all sorts of, you know, larvae, mosquitoes and the like. So I'm not that old, but I've been told, you know, that these were the recent buildings that we have today are in response to a lot of factors. One, there's a lot of pollution. Two, technology. You can buy all these computers, videos, screens, LCDs and the like, and allow dust to come into your premises. You want to protect it. You know, ventilation is great, but now the way we're building, we're not allowing a lot of free flow air. Then the colonialists, they had a lot of land. They were able to take 1 acre and then angle the building such that it's in direct flow of ventilation and sun and they had a free hand. They had a field day to do that. But now we get a plot of land. We measure the setbacks 5 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet at the back, and then build it, take up as much as we can. We can't talk about ventilation, so it's tough.
You don't have the luxury.
Yes, we don't have that luxury, so it's tough. So when you compare those houses to today, yes, they do stand wanting. They do stand wanting. But then people are still appreciating a lot of the elements, like louvers. They're, should I say, they're deluxe louvers nowadays. Even with aluminium glass, there's glass that can be open like shutters, because that allows a lot of air. But funnily, talking about louvers, it's interesting how you go to the beach nowadays, and the beach that has so much breeze from the sea, they should have the biggest louvers around. They are rather changing it to glass.
The glass.
Yes, because it's more like, now it's, how would you call it? So
Status symbol.
Exactly. So you change from louvers to glass. So yeah, these things have come to play with architecture now, and really they're all subjective. Yes, they're all subjective.
Okay,
yes.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I want us to see sample of things you've done.
Okay.
Some of your buildings, and all of you out there who are looking for buildings, this is your time. We'll be giving his number. One friend, I don't come and blame you. I told you. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the stuff that Incept has done,
Yes.
and how you can reach them, and then we'll talk about other things. Stick around, we'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
We have a Kono pure coconut oil. It is cholesterol free, it's fat free. It's the in thing now. The Akono pure coconut oil. And for anyone who is listening to me now, if you can call them now, they give you a very, very big discount. Whether you want it for yourself or you want it in huge volumes, you can call them now. And the number is 024 748 6673. Or you can WhatsApp on 020 615 1378. Mother's Day is around the corner. I wish all mothers a very, very happy Mother's Day. And don't forget, Cactus Creek is the place to be for your perfect Mother's Day. Bring your mothers, man. It will be fantastic. We have a delicious menu for Mother's Day. And by the way, don't forget to ask for KSM spicy grilled chicken. It's mwah! And that's my own special recipe. It's crazy bean. It's amazing, man. Show some love for me, man. Anyway, we have a great show for you today, man. Hey, we're back. Architecture 101, I told you. And by the way, it sounds like you've worked on quite a few projects.
Yeah.
What's the toughest one?
That's a good question. We worked on projects. You've seen the Toyota. I remember Emerald. That was a tough one because that was one of our first major buildings we were putting up at Roman Ridge. We went for a competition, some other architects, and
Emerald
were
was
selected.
for?
Emerald was for Bay Developers.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
a company called Bay Developers. Yes, and we won that, and it came up. It's in the corner of Roman Ridge, so you'd have to know the place to see it. So that was tough. We weren't nominated. Starting out, you have to fight for your projects. You don't just get called and be put on a silver platter. The toughest one I'm working on is a data center. And here's a case where I've never done a data center before, but now I have to be an IT person and understand everything about data and how my client operates and what he's going to do with it. And his clients are Google and MasterCard and all sorts of big names. And I'm supposed to understand everything about it because it was more or less a turnkey project. So that I would say to date is our toughest project because that's something that's new. But interestingly, I find commercial projects easier to handle than smaller residential projects. Yes.
Why is that?
Commercial projects, they have the funds. They know what they're about. They know what has worked for them. So more or less they're trying to repeat it. They need you to enhance, their image in a way architecturally. But then they have some clarity with what they want. Whereas when it comes to a small project, you now have to go through a process of trying to understand who you're working with.
Mm.
And there's one interesting saying by a famous architect, Frank Lloyd Wright. He said, show me a man who can design for one of little means.
For one of
For a man of little means.
little means.
And make him feel like a king.
Hmm.
And then I'll show you an architect.
Wow.
You know, because
Wow.
really when you
Say
have
it
the
again.
tons,
Show me a man.
show me a man
who can design.
who can design for a man of little means, but make him feel like a king. And I'll show you an architect.
Wow.
You know, and really that's
I like
the case.
that.
Yes, when you have the money, you can do anything. You can amaze, you can. But when you have a limited budget, a small space, you know, and you have big aspirations and you are trying to fit into all that, that's when you are challenged. It's a bit like playing soccer 11 on a big field and small pools. You understand? Everybody has to be sharp. Every move, every inch counts. So in you trying to satisfy those small briefs, it's tough. Our office, the Arc, was built on a very small plot, 45 by 42 by maybe about 120. And it came from a concept of Noah in a box and the glass being water. So we had this concept that we're building a box of wood and we are sailing away on the flood to another hill, another mountain. So that was the concept behind our office, and it's quite well detailed. And we did it to let people appreciate how you can do so much with little space and still feel like a king, you know. So it was inspiring to us, inspiring to our clients, inspiring to our team that, yeah, you didn't really need a huge acre or 2 acres of land like the big boys like you have here to get something amazing, you know. And that's something we try to, you know, share with our clients every time. So yeah, big projects. We've done apartments, we've done estates. You know, estates too are a challenge because you are creating a little city, a little country. People are going to live there. Are they going to live there happily, or, you know, there's so much power that architecture wields without us knowing. You know, and I can go on and on and on about how architecture can enhance crime, or it can make you feel, you know, more like giving back. You know, or in Ghana it can stress you out. You know, because yeah, you can drive through places. The architecture of the urban city also, you know, makes you appreciate whether you're going through places smoothly and you're seeing nice streetscapes, or everything is a hustle and the roads are not well planned and the houses are, yeah, you can go on and on and on. Yeah. So
from an architectural point of view, the city of Accra, what is good and what is lacking?
Accra is changing in some instances in a good way and some instances in a bad way. I'm very concerned about the way we are not protecting trees. You know,
how we are not protecting trees.
Yes, and the idea is we need this space, we need this road, let's just chop it down. Whereas other countries have been able to work around their, you know, old trees, old vegetation, and they're able to integrate. Accra is losing its greenness. We're also becoming that concrete place, that concrete jungle.
Is it we are not conscious to climate change? This whole breeze about climate change and how to inculcate climate into our architecture and everything. Are we missing out on it?
Unfortunately, we are. We are not that sensitive to it, and we're relying more on artificial means to control our climate. You know, like you mentioned earlier, air conditioners and, you know, gensets when we don't have power. You know, and really, the green issues come at a cost. They're putting up solar cells and they're like, pardon me, they're long-term, they're upfront costs for long-term benefits. And unfortunately, we are thinking very short-term. Yeah. You know, so yes, we're losing that. They talk about the floods, and it's very simple. Formerly, there was lots of grass. There was lots of porous roads, you know, paving blocks like you have here. They all allow water to soak. But now if everybody's tiling their compounds, I mean, you go to banks, you go to houses, you go to all sorts of places, they're concreting because that's the latest fad or that is maybe stress-free. They don't want to take care of grass. So you can imagine water coming from, as one planner put it, I think that was Taki, coming from the hills. And there's nothing to soak up the water. It builds up. It builds up. And then we'll keep on getting our floods. You know, so there are little issues that, you know, we take for granted. And because it's just my house. It's just my house that is tiled. It won't cause a flood in Ghana. But when it starts building up, it does cause it, you know. So we're not being sensitive enough. We're not being sensitive enough to these issues and how our choices in architecture and finishing materials are affecting us, you know.
Yeah, this just, by the way, I go for walks a lot at the University of Ghana. And what I'm noticing is that there's a lot of tree planting going on. And I don't know who's behind that, but whoever it is in the University of Ghana, I mean, every time, you know, I will see new plants here. It's like there's a conscious effort to keep it green. But let me get personal a little bit. We've talked about architecture now. Let's go back a little bit. Where did you grow up?
Let me start from where I was born. I was born in Wa.
In Wa?
Yes,
Really?
in Wa, yes. My dad was a doctor, medical doctor. My mother a nurse, so he was posted there. And that's where I was born, Wa.
Okay.
Then I came down to Accra, stayed a bit. And then...
Before you go, your dad and mom, they are around still?
my mom has passed.
Your
My
mom
dad
has
is,
passed, okay.
yes. Then he went to further studies in Scotland. So we all followed him there.
Oh, so you went to Scotland?
Yes, that's where I started my formative years.
I see.
And really that's where a teacher saw me drawing and interested in art and the like, and she told my mom, you know what, make sure this guy does something in design.
Really?
And that was it. My mom started pumping
How old were
me
you
with...
then?
I think I was about 5.
Wow.
Started pumping all sorts of art stuff, you know, the art things on me, and kept on drumming, you'll be an architect, you'll be an architect. I didn't even know what it was all about. But obviously she was able to keep me on that track, and here I am today. So Scotland, then we came to Ghana. I went to New Hope, then I went to Achimota, then Tech, and now I'm sitting with KSM.
You're married? With
Yes,
kids?
I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah?
I'm married to Nadisa. She's a doctor, and I have 2 children. Nami is the first one, and Niabi is the second. Yes.
Okay.
Those are my architectural critics. Yes. Yes.
How long have you been married?
I've been married about 15 years.
15 years.
Yes. I
You're
hope
a young man.
I got it right. Yes. I remember you said that at Pastor Okran's birthday when he was 40, and you said, small boy. Yeah, so I'm a much smaller boy. I remember that night. Yeah, that was long ago.
What is it, 50 years old?
Yes.
More friendly
Yes.
Oh, but that's great. That's great.
Yes.
And your wife is a medical?
Medical doctor. She was in 37 she worked in 37 for about 10 years, but then went to do a course in Howard University in America. So she lives in North Carolina now with the children. Yes, she's been there for about 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the kids are with her? Or
Yeah, they're with her.
They're with her?
Yeah, they're with her. Yeah.
How often do they see you?
Oh, a lot.
A
They
lot.
just left here in January. I'll be joining them in the next 2 weeks. Yes.
Show some love, man. We have seen some of the projects you've worked on and everything.
Yeah.
Looking at the future, what's in the pipeline? I know one time, I think you had mentioned something about old age.
I'm very concerned about, how our houses or how houses are built by 30 to 40-year-olds. And down the line, a 30, 40-year-old person becomes a 50, 60-year-old person. Does the house still work for such an individual? In other countries, they have the luxury of being able to move from one house to another. But when we build, it's like for life, So here's a case where you built with your young mindset, but now you're old and it doesn't really work for you. So I happen to be in that group of friends who have elderly parents, and you always think about how you can enhance their lives in the houses that they live in currently. with simple things, like I always say, very simple things. With grab bars, seats for the WCs, the showers, and then even using technology. Now with things like Alexa, your mother can sit on a rocking chair and ask, play me Daddy Lumba, and it just enhances. You can put CCTV, you can see her from where, little things.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the mistake a lot of people do rather is to try and compensate for maybe what they didn't have in the past. So maybe when you were young, you had, like you're saying, louvers, and you had good airflow, and you had rough terrazzo, and other things that maybe you thought were not the best. And 20, 30 years down the line, you have the cash.
So you want them now?
You want them now, and you want them for your parents. So now you come and close up all the windows and put in aircon, you put in the glass, you put polished tiles on the floor. You say, hey, no more going to market, let's get a fridge. And all those things are good, but they may not be good for elderly people. So you have to look at it, yes. You have to look at how you can still look at the good things, and not suddenly cause such a jolt in their life, and rather enhance what they have.
Yeah.
For those who have money, you can install lifts, domestic lifts, and all sorts of things. So when you really put your mind to it, there's a lot that you can do that elderly people can still stay in their homes, but they'll enjoy
have more convenience.
Yes.
Of course, before you leave, we have to talk about STN a bit. Because but just before then, there's an STN mentorship program coming up that you should be a part of. Take a look at this.
Stanford CE Transformation Network in collaboration with Fidelity Bank Ghana presents STN Ghana Mentorship Program. Do you have an interest in entrepreneurship? Do you seek employment in an organization? Meet STN GH CEOs Linda Ya Ampa of Catlink Fashions, Theresa Ayawade Charterhouse, Elikem Komis Stanford Seed, Kobe Asma Type Company, Barbara Ben Kamara of FC Group, Romeo Bouget IT Consortium, Karen Helm Spectra Global, and Samia Painting of Joyson Group as they walk you through the path to become a successful entrepreneur or employee on Thursday, 20th May 2021 via Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. Time 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Media partner Joy FM 99.7. Register now for free.
Hello there. Are you interested in entrepreneurship? Do you know what employers look out for when you go for an interview? How do you dress when you go for an interview? These and many more are going to be discussed at our upcoming mentoring program. We call it STN Mentoring on the 20th of May 2021 at 11 a.m. sharp. Please register. It's a free program. My name is Linda Ya Ampa. See you there.
So make sure you call the number and register for this. But you and STN, like I said, everybody who's come here from STN is distinct. You all have a certain level of dynamism inside you.
Yeah, it's a wonderful program, Seed, and the Seed for me carries so much, weight. Here is a couple who want to alleviate poverty in Africa, like everybody else. Some people are throwing money at governments. Some people are throwing monies at, foreign companies to come and be the change. Whereas with Seed, they've tried to identify good seeds in Africa that are already doing well and find out how they can enhance them.
Enhance it, yeah.
Yes, and that's where we come in, the companies.
Okay.
So they're able to identify companies that have potential, that are doing well, and how can we grow these companies to do much more. When a company does much more, it's it employs more, it gives more,
yeah.
And it's not just about employing, it's also about growing the people you work with, and that's where Seed is unique. After we are groomed and and encouraged and enhanced by coaches and mentors and teachers, they expect us to also do the same in our companies. You know, so it's a different kind of dynamic from other programs. You know, so that's why we're all very passionate about Seed. Further to Seed and what they do on the 20th of May, that's just one of the many things that they do to enhance entrepreneurship. Together with Fidelity Bank, they are having this program for young people. It'll be on Zoom, it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on YouTube. Yes, between 11 and 1 p.m. You know, and they're going to be learning from seasoned people in industry, you know, mentors and, you know, and you know, the thing about entrepreneurship nowadays is when I started out, I had only foreign inspiration, but Seed has been able to attract people from industry. You can relate to Ghanaians who are doing well in various fields.
A lot of difference.
Yes, it does. It does, you know, and so now you can start seeing, if you're a lady, you can start seeing yourself, you know, who's interested in fashion, like our president, Linda. One day you'll be like her, you know, or you're a guy, you can say, oh, this guy went to Takrady like Asma. I think you interviewed him a while back. And you can get inspiration from them. So they'll be having this program, so it's a good thing to do. They're doing it together with Fidelity Bank, who's a strong partner of Seed, of the Seed program. So tell all your young ones, you know, to be on point.
You are younger. Me, my ones are old.
Yeah, I had a fantastic time there, you know, going through the program. And together with all my course mates, we all were a bit skeptical about what we're going to learn. But by the time we finished the program, midway through the program, we realized this was the best thing ever. Yes, yes.
Show some love, man, for see that. And all you young ones, man, entrepreneurship is a thing. But it's not just saying, oh, I'm just an entrepreneur. that you have to understand what it takes to be one. You need good mentors. You need good guidance. And that's what the mentorship thing is going to be offering you. So make sure you take advantage. But in the meantime, Cecil, thank you so much for coming, and congratulations again for being the member of the month.
Thank you.
And keep doing the great things.
Thank you.
And I'll come by Inceptor. It's not too far away from where I live anyway.
No.
So I'll stop by one of these days.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to it.
Fantastic. So until then, folks, we'll be back next week. So for now, what can I say? We are out of, let the whole world say, yeah.
The KSM Show.